It is to equities market now. Trading on the Nigerian exchange in the first quarter of 2023 was bullish, with mixed trends as the market defied the impact of the rate hike in the first two meetings of the Central Bank of Nigeria Monetary Policy Committee. In the 63 trading sections of the quarter, the NGX all-share index recorded gains in 38 and was down in 25, resulting in a cumulative 5.82% gain, which happened owing to price appreciations by high-cap stocks in February and high dividend yields that attracted more inflows to the market. Now, specifically, in the first quarter of 2023, the NGX all-share index gained a total of 2.9. That's about 2,981.28 basis points, closing at 54,232.34 basis point, compared to the 51,251.06 basis point, which it opened after touching high of 55. More than 55,000 psychological marks there. Well, if you look at the market capitalization during the period, rising by 1.63 trillion, closing at 29.54 trillion from 27.92 trillion. Well, this brings the month-to-date performance of the Nigerian stock market to close negatively by 2.82% and a year-to-date gain of 5.82%. Let's get talking now. Ambrose Omodion, Chief Research Officer, Investor Consulting, as usual, is here with us to look at the first quarter and what drove the market, and of course some of the intrigues in the market as well. Thank you for joining us, Ambrose Omodion.
Thanks for having me.
I call it intrigues because it was a mixed market, the first quarter, even though, but some people have, regardless of the volatility and the up and down. Remember, the year-to-date bounce, fell from 8 something percent before and dropped to, around 5.82%. So some people have described that, despite all of the turbulence in the first quarter, the market still performed averagely well compared to other African markets.
Yeah, for me, in a market where there is a change of trend or structure, we happen to see this kind of thing or performance in the market. In our history, any election year and also pre-election year, you see the impact of foreign investors exiting the market. Now that putting the market in a downtrend. But post COVID-19, I would say that really changed the face of our market. You can see that in pre-election year 2022, market was up. Even the week to the election, market was up. And also don't forget that in January there was rate hike. In March there was rate hike. It was in this March because of the global fear of the banks that were having issue, management of banks and our material market, part of the
almost 3%
that came to the market. Not only that, and also because there was a delay, in the results coming to the bank market again, fear already, that kind of panic selling.
Right.
But now they've seen most of the bank results. The first year results have come. The one that came from UBA was impressive. The one that came from Zenith Bank was a missed number. But still, Zenith Bank, rewarded in showed out about 2.90 kobo, dividend for financial year. Now that give an investor an answer that yes, despite all the fear and the bank's performance are still very strong, and it's also a point at where they are going in the current financial year that we're in. For me, this what drive the market. It's not that there was fear, but because of that change in structure that the foreign investors are not dominating our market again. Now, and also we that are players, someone like you now, you are a journalist in this market, you understand that after election, life continues. But a foreign investor, even when there's this what we call to seek your redress in the court or the tribunal, the foreign investor will still be sitting at the fence to see who before it comes. But we understand that where it really is going, already position ahead before they start coming. For me, this is what.
But we cannot undermine, that uncertainty around the litigations, isn't it?
I said for foreign investors, they must be waiting to see until the final result come out. But Nigerians understand that, yes, like people say, we have confidence in our judiciality. Tomorrow, fine, that is the last common man and last hope. Fine. But we know that whoever that comes, the Nigerian economy will not disappear overnight. And for foreigners, they want to see, but we that are here, they say son of the soil, we understand how it operates. That's why there was a election around the corner. Others are panicking, but don't understand the market. The major people that are in the market, the PFs, they understand the terrain where they are because they are Nigerians. They know that the election will come out. And also they position in high good stocks that have good fundamentals. And also they are earning it. A company like say, if a PFA is in Zenith Bank, and about almost 2.90, who's almost 12% yield That is more than any yield that you want to put faster and it's coming easily. Look at what UPAD. For me, these are what is driving the market now. There's no cost for alarm. But now that we are entering the second quarter, that is what investors will be looking at. First quarter has come and gone. I think that past performance is not enough for you to predict the future because it has gone. We need to look at what are the factors that will change the intricacies, as you just say, going to the future. This we're expecting earnings, we're expecting also the incoming government to come on board this time, and also we're hearing a lot of subsidy removal. The labours are already beating their drum. If you remove it without taking care of us, no, for that, the people are looking at where are we going. That means for you as an investor, it's time for you to look at those companies that still have factor that in their industry where they operating, what happens as a cash crunch will not affect their performance much, although that will benefit from the cash crunch. That is what you should be looking at. And at the same time, if you trade look for momentum stock, that there's something to drive the price now. But if you're me, don't just sit at the fence and say, oh, because the politicians are going to court, let me say, you also wait. Those people that sit at the fence in the first quarter are not regretting because they didn't take action. This is the time to take action, not to sit at the fence. That's my advice for investors.
Just before we go into the second quarter, we're going to look at the second quarter, what is up for graph in the second quarter. But quickly, let's look at some of the sectors that drove the market in the first quarter. Where, from what we're seeing here, the NGS growth index lead with about 55.56%, right? Followed by consumer goods.
When we're looking at the NGS, when we're looking at the sector, NGS is not a sector. It is for the general market index. For me, the index, if you look at that, all the sectors were in green in the first quarter. That market was really hot. Despite, like we said, 38,
But are the major drivers?
Yes, the major drivers come from what? You can see that the food and beverages, which is the consumer goods, had about 19.something% for the quarter, and that's a lot of what that boa food gaining. This is boa food that moved from as low as almost 62 naira to almost 120. You can see the weight that's what impacted, and also stock like Nestle was stable in that period. It was not gaining, was not just stable at that price, and you see the life of with Dangote Sugar, when the result, it moved from 16 to almost 21. These are the factors that drove the.
Let's dwell on that. Consumer goods a bit. You have Okomu oil, right?
No, Okomu is not.
It's not part of the consumer goods. Yeah, but of course, what they produce also as well is also consumables like oil.
I agree with you. If you look at consumer index composition, Okomu is not there.
Okay, but you have Boa Food, you have Dangote Sugar, and you have the likes of
Flour Mill,
yes.
The life of,
but which of these particular stock would you say perform or was the major driver of this sector?
I've said it earlier. I say it's Boa Food.
Just Boa Food
and the National Salt and the Dangote Sugar. These are the major things that go. Even Nestle was flat throughout the period. Because even the Nestle announced a good dividend, but compared to the price, we might say that it's not very, but Nestle was stable, and these are the factors that major factor that do that is Boa Food, Dangote Sugar, and the NASCOM. And also, let's add the Northern Nigeria Flour Mill because they gained the first quarter. And Northern Nigeria Flour Mill result was also good. That put the price for
because I wanted to ask, but how impressive were the result of these stocks in the first quarter?
For the ones I mentioned, for Boa Food, result was the price. Yes, the price of almost 102, paying a dividend of 4 naira. 4.50 naira. I'll tell you, the result is fantastic. That also for Dangote Sugar was outstanding. And don't forget that in international market, sugar is still on the eye. And also Dangote Sugar have done backward integration locally here. That means they have access to raw material. They might not be importing more than they are doing before. These are the things that I think more governments should encourage, that let most of the company in Nigeria look inward and search your raw material so that this FS thing will not be affecting your income or your profit at the end of the day. I think that is a plus for Dangote Sugar. You can see how also if you look the work of NASCOM, the first time they paid dividend, that's almost 1 naira from 40 kobo to around 90 kobo. They paid dividend. For me, it's a good one. And NASCOM also diversify into agriculture, to expand their business. I know they are into pastry and all those tomato pastry and all that. And they're also going too far. For me, this is a good thing for. And that's why we want to look inward and see how we can sort our raw materials locally. At the end of the day, you can create employment with that chain of your, and also employ people in your main business.
Let's quickly look at the oil and gas for the first quarter. It looks like the figure I'm seeing here is 10.5% for the first quarter. So impressive, would you say?
Yeah, no, it's also a good one. Don't forget that in the first quarter we saw the life of corn oil, Miss Oil moving from as low as 16 naira to almost 80-40 because of their result. On the account that was raised in January. It's a part. Also, if you look at the life of what's it called? Seplar did not do much. It was a bit stable, but the recent one movement also is part of what I also supported the index for that period. You can see where it's good to look at index when you are investing. I think that you don't want to be looking at only your NGS index alone. That is for general market. Look at the sector you want to look at. How is the sector performing? Which company is leading? And also, is it the potential for that company to continue in that direction? What are the factors driving the company performance? Is this intact or not? If you look at all this, this is what investors should be looking at when they are taking their investment decision. It's not looking at the end. Because if you look at the NGS, I'll tell you, just about 5 or 6 companies make about 70% of the share index. Then that means when these 5 or 6 cough, market will be in red. When they gain, then if you want to read new picture of the company, look at the sector where you want to vote, the company want to vote. I also look at that individual companies, so how do they perform technically, what are they doing, what is sentiment behind them, and also their performance to see the fundamental. Because as a successful investor or a good investor, you need to have to combine your fundamental, your technical to make information. That means don't just sit at the fence. No, for me, I see opportunity in Q2. What's the opportunity? Because prices will be adjusted because of dividend.
We'll go to Q2 in a moment, but let's quickly finish up with banking, because the reason why I'm picking consumer goods, oil and gas, and banking looks like these are the major, will I say, yes, that drove the market the more, and it looks like this is the appetite, will I say, yes, the appetite for the investors. So for the banking, except for the fact that there was fear of,
contagious fear that will come.
Yes, because of the bank failure in the US, and so it looks like that also affected, their overall performance in the first quarter. Coupled with the fact that some of the tier 1 banks didn't release their result on time. So how will you rate the banking index?
Before now, you know that the banking sector is the toast of investor in Nigeria. Before the life of Airtel and then MTN came on board, Comuna pick up and Presco, but still, the volume for investor to trade is more on this sector, and also because also the importance of banking sector in any economy, you can't rule out the banking sector. And don't forget that any policy like interest rate, all this will have a way of impacting the bank positively and also negatively in another board. If you wait that, it will when interest rate is high, you see banking performing more, but they earn more money. Because also now that we have seen a kind of hike in interest be about 40%, put money there than the banks, and they automatically have that's why banks will look at when environment is a high interest rate to a level, bank benefit most by the detriment of the economy. That's why a good policy manager, especially the MPC, they look at how can we balance the economy, and because if you are using it to you are going to snap your economy. That means what if you want to drive bank growth and the economy, you must have to have a moderate interest rate so that the economy is expanding, bank also benefit. That's why I say any situation, if there's low interest rate, the economy is doing well, bank benefit from it. If there's high interest rate, bank benefit. That's why I tell you that most time this is settled that any policy change has a way of impacting the bank. Even as
so either way they are winning.
Yeah, even right now I will say that there was a cash crunch in the economy. Yes, it might slow down their return for first quarter, but I'll tell you, if you remember during COVID-19, there was no kind of crisis there then. Because it was a lockdown, transaction was good. At the end of the day, we were seeing banks posting what positive number. Because transaction was going online. Even this time that we had a little people go and look at the report as at January, how many billion that was transacted online again through through the online transaction platform. It tells you that the banks have the way of earning money. Don't forget that now the bank will charge you, the telecom will charge you because they send you 2 alerts. One for the bank 20%, 20 naira. One another one was about 6 naira or 56 naira. You can see that as you are transacting, how many times you transact, they are making money and on the comfort of the office. That's why I said investors look at where can you position now. Even as you are looking forward to going to quarter 2 or quarter 1, the talk we're expecting to see in this April. I believe that for traders, as you are seeing the market, like I said earlier,
let's wrap it up with the industrial and insurance. Well, not to talk about pensions, there are other, but let's wrap it up with industrial.
No, for me, industrial, because industrial they are the first to release their results. We saw the life of Boaf Cement and Dangote and what is it called, Volafat. The result came and it was good. They're not bad results, but the movement was not much because people were looking at where are they going, what are they paying, the price they are paying and compared to their dividend was not much more. But I believe that for Dangote, why it saw also a pullback there, that Dangote was also marked down for 20 naira within that same period of the first quarter. That's why we are seeing that. But for me, there's still potential in those companies if you are a long-term investor for dividend income. But for traders, I think there are still opportunities.
Let's look at the second quarter. I mean, all of this more like a prelude to perhaps what is expected in the second quarter. Where we wouldn't expect the CBN to meet until maybe in May. Yes, the only thing that we'll continue to see is the inflation figures that will be coming out and all of that.
So we'll see the May meeting. They will have to go May. That's the month of handover too. That is no
exactly. So perhaps yes, the month of handover last. Will I say the last meeting before the wind down? Yes. So talk to us about the second quarter and some of the events or what to expect in the second quarter.
See, for me, I said it's missed. I know, like what I wrote that. They miss outlook for a very missed outlook for second quarter. Why? Yes, we are seeing that the trading environment is already changing. Why is it changing? With all eyes on what macroeconomic data that will come from, as you mentioned, inflation. All this one will be coming into Q1. Want to see Q1 GDP in Q2. Also, we want to look at what is the incoming government bringing on board. Okay, between now and end of the quarter, is there new policy that will come from this incumbent government? It's not likely because they want to just stay and go. Are they going to borrow more? I learned that they wanted to borrow from China. China put it down. Say no, let's watch it. These are the things we want to look at. And we want to now look at what would drive the price on the exchange. It will be that the Q1 we're expecting is, for me, is the most important thing. How this company are fair in Q1 will also now kind of encourage investor or give them an insight.
It'll be more like a catalyst.
An insight where you should be positioned for the year. Because I tell you, Q1 is very important for you to know where the company is heading to in the current financial year. We're just saying about dividend for the last financial year. Now, another financial year have started, one quarter have ended, and you know that it's just like we send a child to school at the end of the term, you bring result. Also, this company wants to tell us how they perform, and we know that there are some factors that affected their performance in the Q1. The push sector will do well with that incident that happened in in Q1. As investor or trader, this is what will guide your decision. And also the numbers you have seen so far, which company will sustain that trend in this current financial year? Yes, even when have done well in 2022, is it possible? Because if you look at it, not have changed much apart from the crisis to have in the first quarter. The cash crunch will not have changed. That means if this sector will not be affected, can it going to continue that trend? For investors, this is what we look at. Not just say want to sit at the fence and see. No, I believe that second quarter has its own opportunity. I tell you that when there is uncertainty, there's also opportunity in the market for you to track. That's why people that came for the masterclass that we had on Saturday. So the eye opener where they should put their money. I buy by now. Most of them are also in the market.
You are yet to invite me to that masterclass. I mean, I'm expecting you to perhaps carry me along in that masterclass. Let's start learning how to take advantage of the financial year as well.
The July edition you'll be invited.
Okay, I'll be there. But let's just before I let you go. We're not expected, like I said earlier, we're not expected to see major event or economic event from CBN or major policy, except from the fiscal side. Perhaps the president, maybe before handing over, we could hear one statement or the other. Not quite long. He's signing some bills that has to do with year power, some items that were on exclusive list are now on the current now.
For call and for data.
So I'm investors will be looking at what exactly will determine perhaps what to shape, a major thing that you shape. You talked about the fact that we're expecting numbers
the Q1
in the Q1 numbers, but apart from the Q,
so I think inflation figure that we're present for the month of March is very, very important.
Right.
We saw that in February, despite there was economic slowdown, so that inflation each up by 0.09. Was it that trend we're going to see or going to see pullback? Because also, despite that there's a little uptick, we saw that CPI maintained about 50 basis points also rate hike for the month. Then are they going to see if the plan to remove subsidy is imminent? I would say likely to be rate hike. But if they are leaving it for the incoming government, and government will not just come on board today and start removing subsidy, what are we going to see this period? No, for me, for investor, and also today, don't forget that international market, we have seen that crude oil has almost crossed $80 as I speak now, around $84. That has an impact of your subsidy removal. Where are you going from? Okay, the one we have in Nigeria, the Dangote refinery, are you going to buy in naira or in dollar? These are the things that they should be with the conversation between the industry player and the Dangote and the government. Because if say, we are removing subsidy, we're still going to pay the same dollar we are paying to Dangote. For me, it doesn't make any sense. It depends what we're going to do.
Because the speculations, or will I say the forecast or expectations of most analysts is that perhaps because the incoming government will not immediately remove this subsidy, right, when they come into government. So perhaps they might want to use the current government to do that, gradually wind up, and that perhaps could affect the stock, the oil sector, those who play in the oil sector and all of that. That's why I'm asking that question. Perhaps we might see a major policy statement, seeing we're not going to be hearing and seeing any major event from CBN and all of that.
Yeah, for me, we wait and see what will come from them.
Okay.
Subsidy removal, that means Nigeria has to tighten up their bet, because if you remove subsidy, I'll tell you your cost of transportation will increase. Or
Right,
let that say, for me, it will make good sense that before you remove subsidy, you make sure that our railway is working perfectly, there's security, more buses on the road, that people have access in case there's fuel hike.
That's right.
When you double the price of transportation, people have access to subsidized transport by either government or that will be better than if you want to just remove it, just blindly like that. For me, it doesn't make any sense. You want to hit up everything, the economy, both food, item, everything will be up. And that means people are not earning double as what you're going to do, because if you remove a subsidy, I don't see fuel selling below 400 or 300, and then no the impact will go on the economy. For me, I think the thing that we will need a well articulated plan that we followed, and also assess as we follow it to know where we are going. But it's a good one that yes, such enough money that put in subsidy can be directed to another sector that will drive the economy or create employment if we are articulated well. For me, there's no cost allowed.
Let's wrap up with this. It's the first trading day of the week and of the new quarter. So almost 2 hours now to today's trading. So what is the market saying now? What's the direction now?
For me, the last hour result we saw of last week, this is the time for market to react to those numbers, because last week was seeing numbers coming, with influx of number. For me, now investors, analysts will start to analyze it this week at the takeover. For me, I see a mistrend, because as they analyze, the one that do not do well, they want to sell off, the one that see no opportunity, they want to buy in. These are the things that drive the market, because so they had the last rush of numbers, and when it came in that quantity, you were able to look at them at all. They have time now to look at it this week and not be writing. And you said this is the first trading week of the month, of the month, the quarter, and also for the week. For me, let's see. It's good that market is still very, very strong as at the end of the month. Despite I saw a pullback on the last trading day, but the market is still very strong.
Let's leave it there. Ambrose Samodian, Chief Research Officer, Investor Consulting Limited. Thank you for coming on board.
Thanks for having me, Frank.
If you're watching Business Breakfast, we'll take a break now, and still to come after the break, the domestic debt owed by state government and the Federal Capital Territory Administration rose to 5.3 trillion as of the end of December. Well, what's the implication of this as Lagos and Delta leads in this domestic debt? We'll be back in a moment. Please stay with us.